Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the BeauSandVer presentation about our wonderful sixth form consortium at the start of your journey of deciding what is the right school for you for next year. A little bit about who's presenting. My name is Alan Gray. I'm head teacher at Sandringham School. We have Martin Atkinson, who is the head at Beaumont School, Paul Ramsey, who is the head at Verulam, and Sarah Hosegood, who works at Beaumont but works across the consortium to make sure that everything goes smoothly. A little bit about our aims. We have been working together now for well over 25 years as schools, and we have a commitment to provide the very best opportunities for you as young people. And we pride ourselves in that. So the quality that you will receive will be very similar, whichever school you're operating in, but the benefits, as you see in a few more slides, are immense. And we really do want to make sure that you have the best time over these 2 years coming, so that by the end of it, you will leave as highly educated and incredibly mature young people ready to take on the world. So our commitment to you, we will provide you with almost unlimited courses for you to choose. And we do that because each school can operate certain courses, and you as a consortium member can choose to be at one of the schools for most of your time, and then if you need to study a subject at one of the others. We also make sure that the quality is consistent across the schools. We do that by quality assurance, and we go into each school. We have the middle leaders working very closely together, and the senior staff do the same. And we make sure that whatever we are delivering is the most up-to-date courses that you could possibly study anywhere, and that the specifications that we use are tailored to meet your particular requirements. A little bit about the success of BeauSandVer. As I said, it's been around for many years. It is the most successful consortium partnership in Hertfordshire and one of the most successful partnerships of any schools in the country. And we've been doing this long before things like trusts came along and federations. Beaumont, Sandringham and Verulam had the vision to work together from a very early stage. So you will find results that are reflected in the maturity of the organisation. Because we work so well together, you find that every subject leader talks to the others, we feed off each other, and the combined impact is far greater than if you were in one school on its own. So even if you're somebody who joins, let's say, Beaumont or Verulam or Sandringham, and you don't actually consort, you will still get the benefits of the consortium because you know that we are working in partnership to make sure we haven't missed anything. Those are some of the reasons why I think BeauSandVer is not to be missed. The outcomes speak for themselves. They're incredibly high. You'll be hard pushed to find better results in this area, and we look forward to you potentially joining BeauSandVer in the future. I'm now going to pass over to Mr. Atkinson, who is the head teacher at Beaumont, who will take you through the next part of this presentation.
So why join the BSV? Well, as Mr. Gray has talked about, we have really high academic results year on year. The three schools have improved their sixth form facilities, and you really won't find better anywhere in the county. We've got very experienced staff, which leads to outstanding teaching and learning. But I think a key thing for joining BSV is the amazing breadth of subjects across the three schools. We're able to make it so that almost any of a combination of subjects can be done, whether in one school or perhaps consorting at another school to make it possible. Our experience has led, as we've seen before, to very strong university entrance results. And we've recently bought into a package, Unifrog, it's highlighted there on the screen, and that's proved very useful. I was myself a Year 13 parent last year, and it turned a very complex choice of trying to wade through different university sites into a very simple process. Entering some simple information allowed us to look at safe or aspirational courses, all done for you so that it directs you to the right pages very quickly. So there's a lot more to Unifrog, but it's certainly a very positive thing that we've added to our offer. What will you expect in coming to BSV? Well, the experience of 25 years has meant we've got a very smooth process in terms of applying and an induction process. So in June, we're hopeful of running induction within the 3 schools where you'll get some practice time, some experience of lessons, and the teachers will set summer work so that in September you start each of the courses from a running start, really prepared to move forwards. We also recognise the softer skills that are needed as you develop through the sixth form. You need to become independent learners, and the exams create a kind of passport for you to get into university, but for the world of employment and further, you'll need those softer skills, and part of our pastoral programme will address those things. We also have some very easy local advantages. The 3 schools are very close together, and the transport links between us work really well. So we run minibuses between the 3 schools at the appropriate times, and it's a system that's well proven. So what do you have to think about next? And this is really crucial, some important decisions for you. What do you enjoy doing? What really interests you? Because your number of choices are far reduced from GCSE into A levels. You'll perhaps be doing 3 subjects. So it's really important you enjoy them. But equally, it's important that you can succeed and be successful. So you have to balance your enjoyment with things that you're good at. Have you considered new subjects? Fresh starts, things that you've not looked at before. Very important. And I'd also stress that you look a bit further into the future to look at the different things that you might need for courses at university. So an example we often use is something like economics. It's really important for all the top university courses to study A-level maths if you wish to do economics at university. You don't necessarily have to do economics, but you certainly have to do maths. And it's looking into those sorts of things, the things that you might be interested in, to make sure you don't close any doors off. Trial exams are another thing that I want to talk about, and I want to burst the myth that they're not important, or the idea that trial exams are having a go without revising. Please don't do that. They're very important, perhaps at this time more than others in the past. We use your trial exams to help guide you for your choices next year. It's not that we expect you to get the results in your mocks that you'll get in your final exams in the summer. Clearly, you will improve. And to give you a rough idea of what that might mean, if you're doing 10 GCSEs, then historically, on average, we'd expect you to move up a grade in maybe 5 out of those 10 between the mocks and the real thing. Now, of course, people work outside those parameters and do much better, but that gives you a rough idea of what you're looking at. So revising for these trial exams that are coming up is really important, must make it a priority. You've got 2 years for each of the courses that you're studying, so it's important to try and get the choices right first time. And finally, from me, just another source of information. The Russell Group universities have created an informed choices page, which again, for parents and students, gives you some advice, whether you're looking at specifics or more generally. There's some information you can find on there that you'll find particularly useful. And now I'll pass on to Mr. Ramsey.
Good evening. It's time to address now the all-important issue of entry criteria. Students, on average, will need an average grade, an APS of 4 in order to join the BeauSandVer sixth form. Every student will be asked to calculate their own average point score based on their GCSE results, and that average point score will be the key determinant in deciding a student's pathway and the subjects they can use. Now, obviously, the trial exams, mentioned before, are very important in helping us make decisions about making offers and giving you guidance to choose the right pathway. And in every school, key staff will be having meetings with students to advise them on the pathway that is most suitable for them. And of course, it is the GCSE trial examination results which will help decide those pathways. So, a little about the individual pathways. So, you achieve an average point score of between 4 and 4.9. Congratulations, you've gained the basic entry criteria to join the BSV sixth form, and you should choose the equivalent of 3 subjects. But we do ask that at least one of those will be a BTEC or a CTEC vocational qualification. And it's worth bearing in mind that certain A-level subjects have specific requirements. Most A-levels require that you achieve at least a 6, and maths requires that you achieve at least a grade 7. The second pathway is for those students who have achieved between an APS of between 5 and 5.9. And here we'd encourage students to choose 3 A-levels. You can, of course, still choose a BTEC if that's where your passion and enthusiasm lies. But those 3 A-levels will exclude biology, chemistry and physics. To do those subjects, you have to achieve an average point score of at least 6. The third pathway is for the most high achieving students, those who've achieved an average point score of 6 or higher. And here students can feel free to choose any 3 A-level qualifications and may also, if appropriate, choose a 4th subject. For instance, that could be further maths. And there, again, the same rules apply. Most A-level subjects require at least a grade 6, and maths would require a grade 7. Of course, not all students will be successful in achieving the higher grades, and for some, success might mean meeting targets below APS of 4. And if you are looking like you're going to achieve an average point score of less than 4, we really recommend that you visit local colleges, talk to staff in your individual schools already about the kind of vocational courses you might be able to access at local colleges, West Herts, Oaklands, for example. But if you are staying for the sixth form, if you are joining BSV, then you will want to look at the full range of courses we have on offer, whether that includes the enrichment offers such as EPQ, Financial Studies, Young Enterprise, Duke of Edinburgh, or indeed the individual A-level and BTEC, CTEC subjects we offer. You can see from the list here that we have an extraordinarily wide range. And of course, the real bonus of BSV is that virtually any subject combination is allowable. I'll now hand over to Miss Hosegood, who'll explain further about the application process and some key deadlines.
And so a lot of the dates that you've heard about today, I just want to go over and review. So firstly, in November is obviously this first part of the information evening. Alongside this, on the school websites and the BeauSandVer websites, we also have information about the subject entry criteria that Mr. Ramsey just mentioned. It's worth both watching this presentation and looking at the information that has already been posted alongside it. You'll also be taking part in your trial exams, and these, as Mr. Atkinson mentioned, are extremely important in terms of guiding you to the offer of what you should take during the sixth form 2 years. These trial exams are important to give both staff at your home school an idea of what subjects you should be taking, and also for ensuring that you get the right offer leading up to your GCSE exams. Now, January this year is going to be slightly different. We have our parents' evenings at each of the 3 schools, but we are also going to have virtual open evenings for the sixth forms at each 3 schools. We call them our virtual into the 6 evenings. You'll find more information about them at each of the 3 schools' websites and also the BeauSandVer website. If you are new to BeauSandVer and looking from a different school, please complete the Google form on each of the websites to make sure that we have your details and can inform you of all the information for the January events. Once you have had your parents' evening and also attended one of the virtual into the 6 evenings, you will have discussion meetings at your own school about your choices and your ideas. And these will help guide you in the application that you'll make. Our application deadline is February the 5th, and it is a set deadline. So we expect your application to be in at that point. And you'll see following that, you get a range of things leading up to your GCSE exams. So you'll get an offer from BeauSandVer in terms of the subjects you've applied for and what we think is suitable. Obviously, your GCSE exams will begin and end. And then we will have our induction days. And these induction days, the dates are to be confirmed, but these induction days are normally towards the end of June and will include taster lessons and also the option to meet the pastoral staff at each of the 3 schools. Once you've got your results in August, we will then look to confirm your offer, to confirm the subjects that you will be taking, and you will enrol on those dates in September. Finally, just to alert you to the virtual Into the Six evenings, they each are going to take place on the dates that you can see on the screen. So for Verulam, it's on Wednesday the 6th of January, for Beaumont the 7th of January, and for Sandringham the 14th of January. If you're not at our schools at the moment, please do complete the Google form and we will keep in touch with the information about those evenings. Thank you very much for your time.